Hey everybody, Mags here, and welcome to episode 2 of my Crochet With Me series. The first episode we're actually going to go through a whole pattern. And the first pattern that we're going to do is just a simple granny square. There are 1,010,000 different ways on how to do them. Some do them where you don't have these little gaps in between the clusters of stitches. Some do, some don't have as many on the corners, some don't. It all kind of depends on the pattern. Some actually have a circle spiral pattern, and then the last round, turns it into the granny square. There are so many different possibilities with this. The stitches that I'm going to be using is I'm going to start with a magic ring, which I have posted already. There is a link to it in the description. And the US double crochet, the UK triple crochet, which are both the same exact stitch, just different terminologies, as well as the chain stitch and slip stitch. To start, we start with making our magic ring. And then from here, we're going to do, like I said, it's the US double crochet, also known as the UK triple crochet. It's the same stitch. To start it, you would chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we just go straight into this loop, the magic ring, and we're going to do 3 stitches. This is a US double crochet, a UK triple crochet. Once you get the 3 done, chain 1, and then do it again. Do 3 more stitches into the loop, into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, and a chain. Again. 1, 2, 3, and a chain. Now the reason why we're doing the chain is because that makes it easier to find the corners. And we'll also be doing chains in the middle of the corners too, to give it this perfect box look. Without that, it kind of can take on a wavy, deformative shape. Kind of odd. Now, I don't count the chain 3 that we did to start as my first stitch. Some do, some don't. It depends on the pattern. So 1, 2, 3, that's your first corner. 1, 2, 3, that's your second corner. 1, 2, 3, we just did our third corner, so we have to do this one more time to have the 4 corners. Do 1, 2, 3 into our magic loop, and then a chain 1. And now we have all 4 corners. Now to close the magic loop, just grab our tail and pull it tight. Depending on the pattern, you could go ahead and weave your tail in as you go by sitting it along the V's. My specific pattern, I can't do that, so I just drop it back, and then I just weave it around in that circle a little bit more when I'm done. Now, find how I do this, because you have to do 3 slip stitches over to your first space where you did your first chain 1 of the previous round. So I find my first space, and then I count my V's. Here's my space, so that's 1, 2, and 3. That's my first US double, UK triple crochet stitch of the last row, and that's where I put my first slip stitch. And then I do a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, and then I'll do a slip stitch into my space. And from here we chain 3 times, and now we're going to do 3 double crochet or triple crochet depending on if you're US or UK into this space. And now here we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to put 3 more into that same space. 1, 2, 3. And that is your first corner of your granny square. Go ahead and wrap your yarn. Just count 3 stitches or find your next space. Go straight into that space, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 3 US double UK triple. Oops. There we go. That's 2, 3, chain 2, and then finish it out with 3 more stitches. And there we have our second corner. Oops, I got down a little too far. There we go. Same thing. Either count 1, 2, 3 stitches over, or just find where you have that extra space and you just have 3 stitches in between. And we're going to do 3 US double UK triple crochet, chain 2, and then 3 more, all into that same space. 2, oops, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, and 3. Now we have 3 of our 4 corners. Now the last corner, you can see here where you did your 1, 2, 3, 4 slip stitches. Right behind that one is where your space is. And you'll see you have the 3, 1, 2, 3 stitches there. Go into that space and do the same thing. Every corner is the same thing. You do 3 stitches and then 2 chains and then 3 more stitches. One, 2, and 3. And then here's your first 3 stitches of your first corner that you did. 1, 2, 3. This is the top of the first stitch. You go into that and you do a slip stitch and it joins it together, and there you can see your perfect little square. I'll do one more round because the corners are all the same as what you've done. 3, chain 2, and then 3 more. But everything in between you don't do that. It's just some regular stitching, as my teacher called it. After you do your slip stitch to join, you do 2 more slip stitches in the next 2 stitches and then another slip stitch into the space. That's how I do it every time I join. 1, 2, chain 3. Now remember, I am using both the UK and the US terminology for all of my videos. That way it doesn't just help one part of the world, it can help both. I'm doing the US double crochet, but it's also known as the UK treble crochet or triple, but it's the same stitch. So we do 3 into the corner. Whoops. And then we chain 2. And then we do 3 more into the same corner. Now we come to our first space here in between the 2 corners. That use the same stitch, the US double, UK treble crochet, and you just go straight into the space and do 3. And then you go in and you do your next corner, which is 3 of the US double, UK treble crochet. And then a chain 2. And then 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And there, you'll see where you have your corner, your other corner. That's where you did your, and you have 2 spaces. On the next round, it'll be your corner, 3, 3, there. Next round, it'll be your corner, 1, 2, 3, and then a corner. But for now, we'll finish this round, and then this video will be complete. So here in the next space, we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do the next corner, which is nearly split perfect between purple and pink. Come on, let's focus on my yarn now. There it is. Okay. I have a new camera and sometimes it gets out of focus, but for the most part it stays in focus. This is 2 and 3, chain 2, and then 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then we do 3 in the space between the corners. Another corner. We do 3. Chain 2. Oops. 3 more. And then 3 in the space. And then you find the top of your first stitch and you do a slip stitch. Now here you could either fasten off and be done with it, or you can continue going around. Corners get 3 chain 2, then 3 more, total 6 stitches and 2 chain 2 in each corner, and each space in between the corners each gets 3 stitches. And that is the granny square. If you ask me, one of the absolute most versatile things that you can crochet ever. It can be one big blanket. You can make a bunch of little ones together, like I'm doing with this, to make a little patchwork blanket. You can put them together where they actually look like squares, or you can turn them so they look more like diamonds. They are, in my opinion, the most versatile thing you can crochet. You can make just about anything out of a granny square. Even hats and bags and all kinds of stuff. And that is it for this episode. Granny square is done. I hope that this helped you out, and join me next time for Crochet with Me.